Hi, welcome to Loadrunner Tutorials and Performance Testing. Today we are going to learn what are the points we must measure during performance testing. Okay, so this is very important topic. So without this you can't complete your performance testing of your web applications, SOAP applications or REST API, web services. So what are the applications you are using? You must measure these terms or points before completing your performance testing of your applications. Okay, so let's see those points one by one. So these are the very important points. So in this video I am going to explain with real-time examples how you can measure your applications performance, whether it is working as expected or not. Okay, let's see one by one. Okay, what are the points you need to measure? So which is 1 2 3 4 5 6. These are 6 main points which is very important in your performance testing. So every user will search for these points only. What are the performance testing, load testing is happening on web applications or desktop applications or web services, REST API services. So like this different services, applications, everything will be based on these points. Then only stakeholders can satisfy whether these points are working properly or not, whether it is able to launch the applications in production as per your performance testing. So what will happen whenever the users are increasing day by day? Okay, so all these points will comes under these points only. What are the points? Response time, hits per second, throughput, CPU utilization, memory utilizations, and disk space, which is on input and output. So what are the disk space while you are executing, before executing your performance script? So what are the disk space it is occupied after executing the performance test scripts in the controller which is installed in your server, okay, which could be a Windows, Linux or Unix. Okay, let's see these points one by one with example. Okay, so remember there are 6 points you need to prepare in your performance testing script. Okay, whenever you are running the script, these points should be measured after running your script, which is coming in displays and analysis report. So what is the first point? The first point is a response time. If you see this image, what have you understood? Okay, so we have a request which could be HTTP request, SOAP means web services request, or REST API which is a JSON request. Okay, and it is sending to the server. So whether it could be a QA server, UAT server, or production server, or pilot server. Okay, and the next one is a response. What is the response? Which in the form of web applications means HTTP request, and a SOAP request means web services, and JSON REST API service which is in the form of HTTP or HTML services. And SOAP services are giving in the form of XML. So what is the response time? How you will measure what is the response time actually your application is giving? So what is the response time? It's here I have given one arrow saying in between request to the response. Okay, so this is the time between request which is sending by HTTP, SOAP or REST API to the server. At the time of hitting the server, that time request is given to the server. Okay, so from that how much time it is taking to display the response to the users, end users who is using our application. Those are the customers. Okay, so what is the response time? Response time means the time taken between request to display response to the customer from the server, whether it could be QA, production or UAT. Okay, so with this time you can measure that. Suppose you are sending 1000 requests within 1 minute or within fraction of 30 seconds. So at that time server will handle those all 1000 requests within a time, and it will send the response within a 3 seconds or 5 seconds. So in this way you can identify the response time. Here what is the response time is very high. Why? Because 1000 requests which is giving the response within the 6 to 7 or 8 seconds, which is a very less. Okay, I will show you the analysis report how you will then only you can understand what is the maximum average response time, maximum response time, as well as minimum response time. So these are the response time is measured with the help of request or the request you are sending to the server. That server how many requests are handling and giving that response within how much time. Then only you can say that response time is very low. Actually, for every application, whether it be web services, REST services, JSON, everything, response time should be very less. Then only you can application say that your application is web applications or anything is working fine, whether it could be from server or different applications integrated. Then also it will take care from the server. Everything response should be in within a fraction of second. Then only you can say that your application is stable and working fine. It can handle number of requests at a time. Okay, this is the response time, first one. Second one is a hits per second. What is the hits per second? Suppose you are running your application or test scripts for 1 hour or 2 hour or 30 minutes or 45 minutes, like that. Okay, so whenever you are hitting request to the server, those requests can be received by the server and giving those response to the end users. Okay, whenever the end users are receiving the responses, means service giving proper hit, handling hit, which is a number of hit, means number of requests is handling by the server. So it is receiving those hits to the server, and within a second, how many seconds the server is receiving a number of requests. So by this you can know that what are the response it is coming. Based on response time you can say that my server is receiving this many hits within a second. So in analysis report you can see here. So what are the maximum running virtual users are 10. So total throughput in the form of bytes 67,48,844, and average throughput bytes per second 17,173. Total hits is a 17,018. So when coming to average hits per second is a 43.303, means average means it could be maximum, it could be minimum. Okay, so total number of hits per second is a 43, means one server which is a QA, production, UAT or application is handling within a 1 second 43 requests is sending by the controller with the help of web services, web applications or anything. Okay, it is sending 43 requests to the server and it is handling. See what are the total hit 17,018 hit, which is giving within a 10 minutes 15 anything. And what is the total? 12. Only 12 means which is a giving response is proper, but coming to result, if you are using if condition, then errors means if you what are the expected it is not coming, means it could be invalid card numbers, invalid mobile numbers, so like that. Okay, so hits per second is very important. By this you can know that how your server is handling the request. If you are at a time 100 users are coming at a time and log into application, how your server will handle. So these will come under hits per second. Okay, next coming to throughput. What is the throughput? Throughput, it indicates the total number of transactions per second, so which is in the form of bytes. Suppose throughput is very less, in your application, throughput is very less, then you can say that your application cannot handling number of transactions per second. Why? Because your throughput usage of bytes is very less. Whenever you need to remember that whenever your application test scripts is executing in the controller, at that time server is taking so much of throughput which is in the form of bytes. Why? Because controller is sending number of requests within a fraction of second. It depends on your time. If you're running for 1 hour, it will send the request of 2000 3000. If you're running your test scripts in the controller within a 10 minutes, then controller will send number of requests around 15,000-16,000 within a fraction of second. At that time throughput should be very high. Then only you can know that your application is using your servers properly. Whenever the throughput is very less, means your application or services are not using servers very clearly. Means disk space it will come, memory how much it is using, so everything it will come. Whenever its application is using those components properly, then your total throughput will be increased. See here 67 lakhs 48,844. Okay, means throughput should be very high in the form of bytes, so that you can know that your total number of transactions per second can handle and the amount of transactions done during the test execution time. So whenever the execution it is increasing hits, then only throughput will be increased. Whenever the throughput is very less, means your application not able to handle total hits and the errors will be increased. Average hits per seconds will be remain. It will coming as a calculation. Total errors will be increased. Why? Because whenever you are sending number of requests to the server, it is not able to handling with because of the throughput is very less. It is not using proper data, sorry, proper components of server. Then you will see that you cannot receive proper requests from the server. So whenever your request is increasing, transactions per second is increasing, and it is giving proper response, then only servers can handling. It will use more space, more memory from the throughput, okay, which is in the form of bytes. Okay, understood? Throughput means it indicates the total number of transactions per second can handle and the amount of transactions done during the test execution time. What is those execution time is given 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It handles what is the total number of transactions per second it is happening. Here total average hits per second is 43, means 43 it is handling. It is giving proper response. Okay. So next coming to CPU utilizations. So CPU utilization, why we need to concentrate on CPU utilization? Why? Because whenever you are running your script in the controller, it is giving number of requests to the server, right? In this server, whenever you are thinking that server, actually your Loadrunner is installed on proper server, which server you want to test. Okay, then only you can know that whenever the number of requests are sending to the server, that proper server which is installed in the Windows server or Linux or Unix server, thus Loadrunner controller sending those requests to the server which is using by load generator. Okay, so means whenever it is hitting number of requests per second, if you go to start task manager and services performance, then you can know that what is the CPU usage, and it is decreasing, right? 29 seconds, 29%. Why? Because I am not running any script. Whenever I am running your script, memory will be increased automatically, CPU usage is increased automatically. So here history, it will display your history. Physical memory usage also it will display. So what are the cache, how many cache it is there, free how much, available how much, how many is running sir, processing or how many threads are running, how your system is handling, uptime, commit, GB, how much GB it is using. So everything, kernel memory, everything will be displayed here. So you need to handle those CPU utilization. You need to measure how much it is taking time while executing your test scripts from the task manager, which is running by the controller. Whenever the controller is running your script, then immediately you need to identify CPU usage. Why? Because if CPU usage is increasing, then your script will not execute properly. Why? Because if it is increasing to 80%, CPU usage is increased to 80%, your script get failed automatically. That's why you need to understand, you need to measure continuously whenever the controller is executing your test script. You need to continuously measure CPU usage, so that you can know that where you can increase the proper components of CPU in order to run your application properly in the production without interrupting any problems. So that's why in main corporate companies, they are using so many servers. In our company, we are using for one application, maintaining one application, we are using 12 servers. See, 12 servers are we are using for maintaining one application. Daily it is happening lakhs of transactions from the POS systems, which is under payments, right? So like this, you need to compulsory handle, measure, or you can proper maintenance. You need to everything. You need to measure how much CPU utilization is happening while you are executing your script. If it is increasing, just you can see that error, it will come as 80% CPU usage, you can't execute the script. You will get error message, total error message you will get, your script will be failed. You can view those CPU usage message in the controller while executing your script, it will display. Okay, when coming to, and what is the next point? When coming to memory utilization, same you things you can view from here. See, memory utilization is increasing. When coming to here, I am going to start task manager. See, memory utilization is increase. Sometimes it will increase. Okay, so why? Because why memory utilization will increase? When coming to physical memory, it will be saved cache. Whenever your script is running, some files are saved under cache memory, so then only it will increase the memory. Here it is increasing, and available is this one, free is this one 240. So resource, coming to resource monitor, you can see here resource monitor how much disk space is increasing. See, everything will be displayed. So how much CPU is increasing, okay, how much disk space is increasing, what are the files are images or exe files are running. When coming to, most of the files are running from C disk only. What is the C disk? C from here different files already running system32. So whenever your script is running under controller, so many files are generating from the backend. So in your main disk is running with so many files. Okay, you need to measure this disk space from the resource monitor. From this you can know that what are the space is increasing, what are the input output kilobytes per second, everything is how it is handling. See, CPU also 37%, where it is running actually, what are the types, what are the process it is running under CPU, everything you can see here. So how much time it is, how much threads are running. Whenever script is running, it will increase automatically. Why? Because while executing test script, it is sending number of requests to the server, then disk space will increase, CPU space will increase. So you can see CPU separate CPU, everything will increase. Okay, usage 30% it will increase, and memory how much, 47% used physical memory. So when our script is executing, it will consuming that cache data in the form of MB available, everything will be displayed here. And what are the disk space it is using also. So what are the disk, see disk activity, you can see most of the showing in the C only. See PID 620. So read kilobytes per second, how much read it is reading. So what are total bytes per second, everything is will display. Coming to storage, see these are the local disk you are using, I am using, everything it will display here. Disk in queue, if you are running your script, it will see in C disk in queue, how many disk or memory are using, how much space is using because of CPU controller execution, everything it will display. Coming to network, so network activity you can say, so what are the kilobytes per second you are using. Network input output, suppose I am using 10 Mbps speed, or suppose you can testing for 512 kbps speed. So what are the network happening, what are the network activities are happening, how your network is performing within that network, how your application is performing, how much kilobytes receiving and sending, everything you can view from here. You can monitor, stop monitor. Once you start monitor, everything will be displayed here. 70% of maximum frequency CPU, everything it will display. Okay, so in this way you need to identify your application when executing your test scripts in controller. You need to identify everything you need to identify. One more point is database utilization also. Why? Because sometimes separate database maintaining for, they are installed in the server only. So whatever the server you are using for your application, they are installing database in that server only. So while you are running your script, what are the hits it is taking, every data will be saved into the database. So database space also it will increase. That one you need to check properly whenever data is inserting or not. So what are the 17,000 records are run and 12 errors are recorded, means if you minus 12, so 17, around 17,006 records should be inserted in database. Those should be, you need to maintain properly, then only you can say that every data is posted into database, and from that database only most of the reports are generating, so with the help of query. So that's why you need to take care of these points while running your performance scripts and preparing your results set. Test summary report should be based on this, then only stakeholders can approve your performance testing and application will go on live and in production. There is no issue will happen in the form of performance testing, so that everything will be run smoothly and revenue will be increased automatically. Okay, so please go through these points one more time so that you can get more useful. So if you like my video, please subscribe to my video and share my videos to different social networking, and please provide your comments on video if you like, and please like my video. If you have any questions, please place in the form of comments so that I can rectify your comments or questions, everything. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe.